Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. And if you are returning then still welcome. Clearly you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. Today is Monday. It is Memorial Day, which is May 27th. So Memorial Day of course is one of the days that we really take some time to think about and remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and who have given their life in the military to just help protect the world that we live in today, right? They help protect the freedoms that we have and the lifestyle that we all get to enjoy. So for anyone who has a friend, family member, loved one who is in the military, I thank them and I thank you. And for anyone who has a friend, family member who has made that sacrifice and who's no longer with us, I am truly thankful. Very thankful, yes. Okay, so Memorial Day, Monday. It has not been months since my last video. Very excited there. It's only been 2 weeks. So I was going to film yesterday, but I think I touched on it a little bit on my last video. But I am back in school right now. It's not a regular school like for a degree. It is a school that my job is paying for, and it's more of a like accreditation type program, but it is through Northwestern University. So it's taking up a lot of time. So I only have 11 weeks left, so very good news. But this last week was extra busy because I had a really large project that was due along with the regular workload. So it was due yesterday and I might have procrastinated just a little bit, but I did get it done. I figured I would get that done yesterday because I had to, and I knew that I was off today so I could film today. So here we are, filming on a Monday. You all know that on a holiday from work or a random day off from work, there is nothing that I love better than filming with all of you guys because number one, I'm not working, and number two, I am celebrating that in the best way possible. So, help celebrate it. I have lots to show you. So I've got an FFO, I have the whips that I worked on over the last couple weeks, and then I only have 2 tiny little things to show you for haul, nothing crazy there. And then I have a couple of things that I'm going to be sending to Tammy. Tammy is the finisher that Carolyn Seasook Stitch uses. Actually I've already met Tammy once, but she connected me with Tammy as far as her being a finisher and her having a business, and very excited that I'm going to be sending some stuff her way. Just the idea of having someone who knows what they're doing, who can help me finish these projects in a really cute way, that is very motivating. I have a whole bin full of projects just hanging out, and as long as I save up a little bit for each group, right? I'm going to be sending them over to Tammy, and I will show you what they look like when they come back, but I will also show you what they're going to look like when I send them over. So I will show you those. All right, I guess we'll get right to it. So let's see, what have I been working on? I will start with my travel piece. So I always keep a travel piece in the car. Obviously I don't stitch while driving because I am not that talented, but I am the passenger more than I am the driver because I am very blessed that my husband likes to drive. Yes. So when we go anywhere, I will usually stitch on, typically I use a Mill Hill kit or something along those lines just because they're a lot easier to stitch, right? They've got the larger holes and the perforated paper. And typically, not always, but they usually have blocks of color. So the piece that I have in the car right now is Mitten Kitten by Satsuma Street. Looks like this. I own quite a few of these designs and I am hoping to get a lot of them done by Christmas this year. So we are here, Mitten Kitten. Obviously it is a kit, so I'm stitching it on the called for everything. I do have my floss on these really adorable floss drops. They look like this. I don't know if I can show these. Oh, it's the same one. Oh my gosh, look at the raccoons, they're so cute. So cute. So these floss drops, they're oldies but goodies. I got these in a kit that I purchased from Lindy Stitches. I think it came with the it's not the saltwater scrapbook, it's some other type of scrapbook that her and I think the Blue Flower did a collab on. When it came out, I fell in love with the adorable little animals, and I love cross-stitch projects, I guess, that have like the squares that are all the same and you put them all together. It called to me, so I purchased the kit, and it came with a really cute bag and these floss drops. So I have these. I've been really into using floss drops lately on all the projects that I'm kitting up. We will talk about all the projects I am kitting up a little bit later, but I've been trying to really dig through my stash, see what I have, and use some of this really fun stuff that I've been collecting. I actually wrote myself a sticky note because as I'm getting more like back into Flosstube, right, I am realizing that I did a terrible job at writing things down early on. Like half this stuff that I'm going to show that's old, I have no idea what it is, what I stitched it on, when I stitched it. The basics that I feel you should know if you are doing a Flosstube. So I wrote a sticky note to remind myself that every time I start kitting something up, to write it down. I have all kinds of journals and things to help me in that, so I just need to take the time to do it. So throwing this out there now for accountability. New pieces will have all the details. Yes. Okay. Anyway, Mitten Kitten. So, will one day look like this? Currently looks like this. So last time you guys saw this, I had the dark red, light red was complete here, and a little bit of this red area here. So since then, and this has really just been during errands, I've done all of this pink as well as the green, and you can see his little nose is taking shape here. So just a little bit of work on this guy. So this piece I am hoping will be finished by the next time that I film, which should be in about 2 weeks, because I have a trip to, I'm flying to Utah this coming weekend, and so this will be worked on in the airplane and in the drive and everything else. So lots of work will be done on Mitten Kitten. Look forward to that. All right, next up. So next up is my magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, the theme piece for the month of May. Get a sip of water here. See my very fancy rainbow. The rainbow does not come through quite so much on here, but I've been enjoying my fancy Starbucks cups here lately. And it's summer, so you have got to stay hydrated if you live where I live. Way too hot, way too sunny. Hydration is key. So anyway, all right. Where were we? Theme piece. So the theme piece for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, I typically try to work on a piece from a magazine. Now I'm struggling with that just a little bit for the theme of June, because our theme for June is to the parade, and I have no earthly idea what I'm going to stitch on from a magazine that reminds me of a parade. I might have to do a new start. I don't know for sure. We'll see. I have not even pulled my pieces for June, and it's right around the corner, so that is on my to-do list for later tonight. But anyway, May. For May, I stitched on this guy here. This is Home Sweet Haunted Home, and this is from Just Cross Stitch Halloween, the 2023 edition. Just like that. I am stitching mine on a piece of Bestitch Me fabric. It's a 16 count Aida in the color Dusty Cottage. I got that from Garan. I am here. So, move this up just a little. Okay. So last time you guys saw this, I had this little chunk here done, just a little bit, and a little bit of outline. I put 4 hours into this. That's usually what I do for the theme. So this has 4 hours. And even though it is yellow, like my daughter said that it reminded her more of a sun than a moon, but I feel that this color yellow is definitely more moon-like than it is sun-like. In fact, I have a sun that I will show you here very soon, and it is way, way different. These tones, they speak more like a moon to me than a sun, but to each their own. And I feel once I get the dark, creepy village going on here, it's gonna look more moon-like. So anyway, this is what we have. I am stitching the moon in, what is this guy? Cottage Garden Threads. So I was part of the Cottage Garden Threads Floss of the Month Club from Garan, I think last year. So I'm no longer part of the club now, just because I usually like to keep these floss and fabric clubs going for 1 year. After that year is over, I'll usually cancel and join something new, just to kind of keep different things flowing. But I love the Cottage Garden Threads. I love that I can keep them on the card and that you can just pull, right? I can just pull this one piece here from the card, and I can just pull what I need and the rest stays on here nice and secure. So that's a really great design. I love that they did that. Anyway, I am stitching mine in the color Marigold, which is just beautiful. If you don't know, my favorite color is yellow, and this is a beautiful, beautiful shade of yellow up here. And I thought about stitching the moon kind of in a circle. I've seen that before because it is a very variegated floss, but when I look at the moon, I see the moon with craters, and so I kind of wanted to duplicate that cratery look. And so instead I'm stitching this moon in more of a patchy, like a patchy design. So hopefully it will pick up that cratery feel that the moon has. We will see. This will stay in the rotation over this next month. It's not going to be the theme piece, but I'm making good progress on it. In fact, I might even make it the 25/7 piece, just because I really think I could get a lot of good progress, maybe even a finish on it, because after that moon, the houses should move fairly quickly. So I can pull that up one more time. There it is. So, yeah, once this moon is done, we're gonna have, there it goes. This is a big block, but it's blocks of color, just one single color here, here, and then just the windows, which are like a fill-in. So this could be something that I easily work on while watching TV or something like that in the evening. So I think I could probably get this one finished maybe next month. And if I do, that will be another piece that heads to Tammy. So Tammy, spoiler alert, it will head your way at some point. All right, next up, the 25/7 piece for the month of May was New Year in the Village. I did a great job in doing my 25 stitches a night, every night up until last week. So I'm about 5 days behind, but that's okay. Better than I have been the last few months. So New Year in the Village will one day look something like this. It is by Alessandra Adelaide. I'm stitching mine on a piece of hand dyed fabrics by Stephanie. It is a 32 count opal linen in the color Storm. Put this behind it. We are here. So let's see. Okay, so the last time you guys saw this, we had this house here done, or it's not done, but this was stitched, and the white on most of this rooftop and here was all stitched. So over this last month, I'm not sure why I did this, but I stitched the white here and then the white snow, which does all the rooftops for these houses here on the side. Then I also stitched the darker red color and this like deep berry color for these houses here, as well as the rest of the snow down here. Now, I feel like I should have more done with this 25 minutes a night. However, I, for some reason, chose to stitch all of this white, which means there was a lot of counting involved. I hope that I counted correctly. It was a very risky move in that by stitching the white first, now I need to make sure that these rooftops are going to actually match up to the white snow top. And you know, if they don't match up, I'm going to make them match up. So It took me a little bit longer than it should have, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep this one out for the rest of the month. I might even get a little bit of extra time in it since I need to make up time, which I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's no real rules, so 25 minutes. Let's see how many 25 minutes I can make up for in the next couple of evenings. I don't have my daughter this week, and so on the kid-free weeks, we do 1 week on, 1 week off. So on the 1 week off, when she's with her dad, that's when I get a lot more stitching in. So see how that goes. I cannot wait until that one is done. I have been stitching on this piece. I'm pretty sure that this piece here was in my very first Flosstube video way back when. So I started it in, I don't know, 2019, 2018. It's an oldie. It is time to wrap that one up. All right. The last thing that I worked on over these last 2 weeks was Birds of a Feather by Monarch Horizons. The designer on this is Roger Renardi. So this is the one that my ex-husband's grandmother, she stitched these birds. I'll break this one out one of these days to show you guys again. Beautifully done. She stitched all the time. So I am now stitching these birds with the intent of framing them both and being able to display them both together to show what she stitched and what I stitched side by side. So because of that, I am stitching mine on the same fabric that she stitched hers on, which is, I believe it's a 16 count blue Ada. The one that you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I am here. So I finished this hummingbird. Last time you saw it, you just had a little bit of the beak as well as part of the head. Hopefully my air conditioner turning on is not too loud, but it is toasty in here. Anyway, so I stitched just a little bit of this area here. I got the rest of the bird filled in as well as the back stitch. You all know I do not like back stitching, so if I keep the back stitch till the end, 0% chance I will ever get it done. So I am back stitching as I go. But he is done. I also did these flowers and the greenery or whatever this is here that leads into the flowers and out of the flower. So this one will be staying in the rotation until it is done. The intent is to get either one bird or one chunk of floral leaf plant thing done every 2 weeks, which is an attainable goal, I think. So that was this. Yes, I feel like I'm farther down than I really am, but that was this guy here. The next hummingbird that I'm going to do, because I've got these flowers done, so I will be stitching the greenery here, and then I'm going to get working on this green hummingbird over the next 2 weeks. So you guys will hopefully get to see this really beautiful green jade hummingbird come to life. And I think in this pattern, it actually tells me what the hummingbird is. That might be fake news, but I think it does. Let me see here. Yes, it does. So the one that I just stitched is called the Allen's hummingbird. Who knew? Allen's hummingbird right here. Okay. And the green one that I'm stitching next is called the Costa hummingbird, C-O-S-T-A. One day in my future when I'm retired, I will be a bird watcher and I will know all of these. I will likely never remember their names, but you never know. So stay tuned for that. Okay, that is all of the whips that I did over the last 2 weeks. I still need to work on the piece that I have out on my frame right now that I haven't started yet, but the only one that I have left to work on to complete my magazine monthly challenge at Cross Stick is the Christmas one that I have from, I don't know, Little House Needleworks or something. It's the Christmas piece with the trees. You'll see it in 2 weeks. But I have that one up. I have not started on it yet. And it's essentially a new start because I had finished the top block, but I haven't done the next block yet, which is what I will be starting later on this evening. So we did that. The other thing that I have really been working on over the last couple weeks is I have been logging all of my charts. So I have a lot of stash, right, as most of us do. I've got tons of fabric from being in the Fabric of the Month Club. I have tons of floss from either just picking up, like if I see at a yard sale or something like that, because you know I love the yard sale. If someone's selling like a bag of floss or things like that, I will usually pick that up. So I've got all kinds of floss, I have all kinds of fabric, and in order to keep track of that stuff, I use the cross stitch app. It works really good for my floss and even for my fabric, although I don't love it for that, but that's what I was using so far. Or I just put it in the bin by color and by count, and I just labeled the bin. I'm probably going to revisit that, but that's for the future. So anyway, what I did not have a good way of storing was my patterns. I don't own a whole lot of digital patterns. Most of the ones that I own are physical hard copies, which I like. I'm kind of old school in that way. I like the paper, right? I haven't converted over to the tablet way of stitching yet. Although I'm told it will change my life. I do believe that that is true. I'm just not there yet. So I have all these paper patterns, and I currently have them stored in kind of like file cabinet boxes with folders, and I have them labeled by designer name. Well, that was taking up a lot of space because every designer had a hanging file folder, which that takes up more space than the actual chart itself. So number one, it took up a lot of space, and number two, it didn't help me when I was trying to, like if I was at a, say I was at a cross stitch store, I had no way of knowing if I already owned a pattern. And while I like to say that I could remember every pattern that I own, you guys know I can hardly remember sometimes what I stitched on last week. So trying to remember every pattern I own was proving to be impossible. So I saw a video from Carolyn Zook, Zook Stitch, and I don't remember who she got it from, but she saw another Flosstuber who was using Google Keep to log their patterns. And she talked about this a while back, but I remember really loving the idea. And I started it, but I didn't get very far. So I went back to doing that. I pulled out, I have 2 large file cabinet bins full of patterns, as well as I have a third one of like kitted up projects and all that kind of stuff. But I started with the 2 that were just full on, just stashed patterns. And I got through one. I am now into the L's in my second bucket. So I have been taking photos of each pattern, logging it by name, the designer, and then I give it a tag, right? Like I say, I'll tag it with bird or Christmas or whimsy. I have a lot of whimsy pieces, right? So whatever these labels are that I'm using, that allows me to at any time be able to click on the label and see everything, or type in a designer name and see everything I own, things like that. So I've been putting a lot of time and effort into that, and I've found some very interesting things. For example, I only own 1 Blackbird Designs pattern. 1. That blew my mind because, I mean, Blackbird, while it's not really my like aesthetic, I guess, it's a little bit, I don't know, clearly it's not my favorite because I only own 1. But I just feel like being a bird lover, I should have more Blackbird Designs charts. So we'll see. I might remedy that in the future. You never know. Yeah, only 1 Blackbird. I thought that the blue flower was going to be my number 1 owned, like designer, because I had 8 of her charts. And I am not counting like Cottage Garden and things like that where I was part of like an of the month club. I'm not really counting that because I didn't seek those charts out individually. They were just mailed to me, right? So I might own a lot of Cottage Garden, but it's because I was part of their monthly clubs, not because I went and specifically bought those charts on purpose, if that makes sense. So I thought that the blue flower was going to be number 1. But then Kathy Barrick came in behind Blue Flower, and I own 9 Kathy Barrick charts. And Lindy Stitches, because now I'm in the L's, I pulled that folder out, and it was like this big. It was ginormous. Like, I could make 2 folders. And part of that is because, Lindy Stitches had that Bird Crush Club, so I was part of that. So I have 12 charts from that. And Lindy Stitches does a lot with color, which I love, and a lot with birds, which I love, and a lot of whimsy-ish, type patterns, which I love. So not including the Bird Crush Club or including any of the charts that are part of like the collab, right? Like the one that she did with Kathy Barrick, or not Kathy Barrick, the Blue Flower. So not including those because there's a whole bunch of charts in one. I own 15 individual patterns from Lindy Stitches. 15. So, Lindy Stitches, if you watch my channel, I am a fan, and I thank you. I will go through some more fun things that I find when I'm done. I also found a lot of things that I know I will probably never stitch. Obviously, I've been collecting patterns for a really long time, and tastes change. And although tastes could change and I could go back to loving something, if it's something that I know either I will not have time to stitch it, or I just feel like I will never stitch it, then I put a label on it for sell. Although honestly, all of these sell items are probably going to end up as giveaways either on this channel or on the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group. So in fact, I had one up for a giveaway on that group just this last week. That is already closed. I drew a winner that will be headed out this next week. But I found the design Metamorphosis. I don't have it here, but Metamorphosis by Ink Circles. It's a beautiful design. I just know I will never stitch it. I don't know where I'll put it if I do stitch it, and that someone else would really get some enjoyment out of that piece. So that was posted, and we'll send that out. Okay, anyway. Whips done, logging charts done. I'm going to show just a tiny bit of haul because I only have 2 items and they're on top of this pile here. Then I will show you, I have an FFO and some pieces that are headed to Tammy. So, all right, haul. I went to Hobby Lobby. We were actually looking for a hook. We've got curtains in the front room, and one of them needs a little curtain, like the little hook you put in the wall so you can tuck it behind. I needed one of those. And Hobby Lobby has a million different pulls and hooks and whatnot. So of course I had to check out their cross stitch section. We don't have much in the cross stitch section, to be honest. There was like a few kits and some floss, and like I think there was more at Michael's than there was at Hobby Lobby. So they're really dialing that back, at least in the Hobby Lobby near me. So they did have this though. They had tiny little kits. I got, what is this? By Cross Stitch Style. It's an American flag, and it's like on a piece of wood. It's a wooden ornament, so it has a price tag. It was $3.99, and I probably had a coupon, but looks like this. I have been inspired by watching all the Flosstubers about how they have their cute little things for the holidays and everything else. And I started thinking I didn't have anything for like patriotic holidays that was small and ready to go. Everything I own that's patriotic is big. So I was like, let me find something little that I can start stitching just to have something to start with. So I had this cute little flag, but I found it interesting because it's on a chunk of wood. So I've never stitched anything like this. If I can open this. So it's fairly thick. I'm not exactly sure how the needle goes back and forth, but we're gonna figure it out. Try something new. Maybe this will be a really good piece to keep in the car with me for the future. Maybe a future car stitch. In fact, I might even bring it with me to Utah just in case I happen to finish the Mitten Kitten. I doubt it, but you never know. So if you have ever stitched anything on any of these wooden kits, let me know. Again, this one looks like this, but it comes with, it says a needle and threader, your needle, the wood ornament, floss, and an instruction book. So we'll give that a whirl. The other thing that I got, I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club through Garan Stitchery. So it's the one where every other month, one month it is a fabric by Stephanie, hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie, and the other month it is a Seraphim Fabrics fabric. So this month we got the color Country Pumpkin. That's a very cute name. I get mine in a 32 count linen. Sorry, I'm going to take it out of the package. I apologize for the crinkles. Okay, but it's really pretty. Look at that. That's a really nice shade. It's coming across, I mean, I know it's called pumpkin, but it doesn't quite look this pinky in real life, but it's close. Looks like that. All kinds of things can go on here, so I like that. And that is it for haul. So just those two items. So I've been trying really hard not to go too crazy in the haul department, but sometimes things just pop up that you have to have. It happens. All right, FFO. I don't know why I didn't show this first, probably because it was at the bottom of the pile, but I framed a new thing. So I found in the bin, right, as I'm going through stuff to pull out for Tammy, I came across a very, very, very old, I probably stitched this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, a very long time ago. But I came across an adorable little snowman juggling snowballs. It's like the size that would go into a card. So at first I thought I was going to make it into a card, but then I found a frame in my box that was perfect. So, ta-da! How cute is that? It is a snowflake frame that I got. It's still got stickers on it. It's pretty old, but I didn't say where I got it from. Probably Hobby Lobby, I don't know. But I've had this sitting in a box. I've got boxes of frames that I pick up either on clearance or from Goodwill that I just store for whenever I find something that will fit in it. And this little guy just fit perfect. So let's see if we can, there it goes. So obviously he's not going to be stored anytime soon, but when the holidays come around, when winter time rolls, it's got this little guy so it can sit on a table nicely, but he will come out and it will be one of my first festive cross stitch pieces to display. So love that. Super cute. Okay, I don't have much for plans because like I said, I have been a slacker in that department and I will be planning today, tomorrow, throughout this week for next month. So it will be a surprise what I'm stitching on next month. Don't know. I do have some old finishes to show you though. So here are some of the things that are going to Tammy. Again, I don't know what the patterns are or what I stitched them on. I think I have some of these written down in an old notebook, but I don't know where those notebooks are. So it does me no good. It's okay though. We are moving forward, right? Moving forward with better habits. So this is Icing for Joy. Super cute. And it is on, it's like a mottled green fabric. Pretty big size piece. Not exactly sure why I stitched it in the middle like that, but that's okay. It works. I found another piece, which will come out later, that is even smaller and it's even done on a bigger piece of fabric, and I stitched it in the dead center. That's okay, but we are here. So I'm going to ask Tammy to probably finish this into a cute pillow because it's really tiny and it would make an adorable pillow. So I'll show you that whenever it returns. Then I have this. Remember when I said I'm going to show you a sun later? Bam. That is a sun. Way different, right? Way different yellow. So this is Walking on Sunshine on, this is some type of looser linen. Like you can almost see through it, but looks like this. It is beautiful. And I am going to tell Tammy she can be creative on this. but maybe some type of a wall hanging, flat fold. Not exactly sure. I thought I could maybe find a frame for it, but it's such a fun piece. I feel like it needs a fun finish. And although I love my frame, I love my walls, I don't know. I just think she could do something cool. So I love that. All right, and then the last thing that I'm sending her direction, and I don't even know if she can do anything with this. I just messaged her about it earlier this morning, but I have this old piece here. It's I Want to Leave. Looks like this. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of margins going on. So I don't know if she can flat fold this or what kind of magic she can do. But if she can, then obviously I need to iron these, but if she can, then I will have her finish this one so I can hang it on my wall, either at work or, you know, something like that, just because it's pretty comical. So looks like that. And I did, even though we've got some crazy stragglers here, there is some, what is that stuff called? That clear stuff that you put on there so that way your fabric doesn't run along the sides. And this piece has really just been in a bin for quite some time, but looks like that. I don't know what it's gonna look like when it returns, but stay tuned. So, okay, that is all I have for you. I am hoping to be back on here within the next couple weeks. I've been watching lots of Flosstube, getting very motivated with FFOs, getting very motivated with pulling charts. The amount of bird charts that I have. So while using Google Keep, I think I mentioned this already, but you can use tags or labels, which I love. I love tags and labels. So anything where it is a bird, and I don't mean like a bird is in it, right? So like a sampler with birds, none of those count. But anything where it is just the bird, like the bird is the highlight, right? I have been labeling that bird. When I pull up the bird tag, I'm only through half my charts, right? I have like 100 bird charts, 100. So many bird charts. So I need to start making use of these birds. My birthday is in the month of August, and so I don't know how far I'm gonna get, but I am wanting to do a month of bird starts for August. So I have been pulling out bird pieces that are smaller or bird pieces where I think that I have all the things that I need to stitch the bird. So I've been pulling those out, setting them aside, and I've already started kitting some up. So we're gonna see how many I can get kit up between now and August 1st. My goal is going to be to do at least 15, yes, 15, bird starts in the month of August for the month of birds, because I own so much, and if I get it started, well, number one, you can't finish it till you start it. Number two, I love to kit things up. I hate doing new starts. That is my least favorite thing. I love to stitch. I love to finish. I don't love to FFO, but I love to stitch. I love to like complete it. I love to put everything away. That is my favorite part, is kitting up and de-kitting the project. But actually putting the needle into the fabric to start the piece, hate it. I'll procrastinate that forever. So August will be the month that I'm stitching nothing but birds, and lots of them. So I will show you the ones that I have kitted up on the next video, and I'll keep showing those throughout the next few videos up until we get to August. If I have enough in my stash to do 15 birds, then that's the goal. I'm sure I have enough in my stash. I have enough fabric, I have enough charts. It's just the floss that I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I don't want to purchase a whole lot for this. So more on that to come, more stitching to come. I hope you all are having a great, if you have a long weekend, I hope it is great. If you don't, then I hope that it is a great Monday, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Happy stitching.